welcome back to my channel. If you like content in my channel and you want to keep up to date with the latest videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave any comments and I'll always try and get back to you as soon as I can. So today we have my Breitling Colt 41. This was a watch which was originally released at Bezel in 2018 in two different variants. There was the Tempest Grey dial and this, the silver dial. I know, it's more magnolia, but who's to say? Now, I really like the clean, uncluttered honesty of this watch. I think it's a real nice watch. If we zoom in on that dial. Now, first of all, you get a really good view of that dial through that lovely sapphire crystal, which has got a load of AR coating. It's something that Breitling do ever so well, enabling you to see how lovely those hands and applied markers are and everything there. As you can see, the dial is simply a flat colour to it. There's no sunburst effect or anything, it's just a flat dial. Minimal amount of text, which is what I like, because Breitling Colts of old notoriously had so much text on them. It was ridiculous. Too many numbers, too much text, and I really wasn't a fan. This is just a simple looking watch, even down to the date window there. You see it has a nice 45-degree chamfer. There's no framing, no nothing there. It's just done so well. I really, to get it to look that good is, I just think is super. If they put a frame around it, it probably wouldn't look as clean. The chapter ring, you see on the outside, is just marked up with 0 to 100. That's for aviation. I didn't know this, and someone actually told me it's for aviation. It's a way of splitting an hour up into 100ths to make it a bit more accurate. So you've got these applied markers around there, full of voluminous material. The loom on this watch is very good, which I'll show you in a second. And then you have these lovely hands. Lovely bit of polishing on there. They're slightly rounded. Now, again, full of voluminous material, and I like the fact that they go over the minute track, enabling to set the watch incredibly accurately. And the same with the fact the second hand just goes over the minute track, and I love that touch of red on the end there. It really helps make it pop. Now, talking of loom, let me just quickly put a torch on this, get an idea. There you go. The loom is this turquoise affair, and it is really long lasting. Through the night, I can see the time all the way through the night to the morning. It does pick up, even when you're outside in sunlight, you come in, it really does glow quite a lot. Now, once we go past the dial, let's get out to this chapter ring. Sorry, the bezel. The bezel here has got this almost like sunburst brushing effect going around there. It's very reminiscent. Actually, I used to have a Breitling Colt, a Breitling Chronomat Evolution, and it does remind me of that somewhat. It's these rider, that's what these are called, rider tabs, and these help you rotate the bezel. Now, as you can hear, that's a 120 click bezel. You need these rider tabs because without them, there's absolutely zero grip. As you can see, there's nothing there. So the rider tabs really do help you move it around. It's a bit of a trait for Breitling, really. The action is nice. There's almost no back plate at all, really. And as for lining it, up as he shoots past it, there you go, lines up perfectly. You have a small tiny triangle there at the 12 o'clock position. The bezel, it should also be mentioned, is actually a captive bezel. So there's a groove around which these screws slot into, which stop the bezel from accidentally being pulled off the watch. If you watch any of my Seiko modding videos, or it's the same on the Rolex Submariner, you can basically put a little pry tool between there and pop it off, and it's just a friction fit. The other thing to note here is that between the 11 and 12, you do have the little B of the Breitling. It's something they always do, and it's a quirk, but it's a nice little quirk. Now, watching that second hand go round there, you can tell well, I suppose you can tell that it's an actual 8 beats per second movement. The actual movement is a chronometer spec B17, which is a 25 joule movement. A very nice looking movement, but actually it's really the base movement it's based upon is the ETA 2824/2. So it's a bomb-proof movement. You very rarely get any trouble with those movements at all. They've got roughly about 40, just coming on for a 40-hour power reserve, and they're just solid. They're really nice, solid. Plus Breitling tend to decorate the movements well. Now, let's have a look at that case. As you can see, there's no polishing. It's just all brushed. And I really, really appreciate that. I just think it's a nice departure for Breitling to get away from the bling. And this I really do quite like. And even down to these, you know, like hard edge almost here. It's not, it is actually quite soft. There's no beveling or anything. That could be down to cost as well, because this is basically Breitling's entry watch, or steel entry watch, being that the price in the UK at the moment is about £2,750 for one of these. Now, it's a shame it's got a solid case back, as you can't see the movement on this watch, which is a little bit of a shame. Just clean that off there a little bit. The case back is a screwed in case back, because this, as you can see, is a 200-meter diver. So it's a proper do-it-all watch, really. Now, the only downside, and a few people have said this in other videos about this model, is the end links, how they protrude out. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. It's, you know, I've got a Rolex SD4K, which does protrude out slightly, but it's one of those things. I'm not gonna, you know, not buy the watch for that. The bracelet is for Pro 2. It does have polishing on the side, which is about the only polishing on this watch, apart from the hands. And it is a screwed in bracelet, so the links are easy to take out if need be. So you can see all nice brushing. If I come away here, you can see the clasp. Again, the clasp is a little bit low rent, really. Nice solid feel to it, fold over safety, all etched nicely. But as you can see, it is a folded steel affair. The inner part, though, is nicely machined, all embossed very well. There is 4 levels of micro adjustment. And I say it works perfectly well. Let me put it on the wrist just to show you. Actually, I am wearing a Rolex Submariner. So just before I do, you can see size-wise. So they're pretty well the same size. This is maybe a fraction bigger, but it is that kind of size watch. Now I'll put it on my wrist, but I'm going to show you some different options as well. Now, there you go. I have just a fraction over a 7-inch wrist, almost 7¼ and it looks perfectly okay. But if you're not sure about those end links, there are options, and let me show you these now. If you want a more classic version, I think it looks really nice on a brown leather strap like this. I think it really gives it a classic look. Just looks really nice now. Or a more sporty look, you can put it on the rubber strap. And I've started wearing it like this quite a lot. So I'll just release that. Now, one thing I would say, I did forget to mention, there is a signed crown as well. Obviously screwed in crown, but you do have that there. So there you go. So anyway, I hope you like my little Breitling review. And if you've got any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. So all the best, and I'll see you at the next video, and stay safe. See you later. Bye.